Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dragon Drama podcast. We are here today with a brand new episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about the mid-season finale of Dragon Drama episode 6 of season 6, titled Climax. I'm here with my cousin Lydia. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah. So, you said this was the mid-season finale?
Yeah, this is the mid-season finale.
Okay. And there's a lot of stuff, some good stuff, some bad stuff in this story.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of interesting stuff. A lot of stuff's happening. But that is what we will talk about today.
It's very, you could tell we're, halfway through the season, all the plots are, building up, and you can, really speculate where they're going from here, because I feel like every character has something, you know?
Yeah.
So, we start out the episode with Glory's trial for the murder of Deathbringer. So, obviously she's gonna plead guilty. I mean, there's no way she can get herself out of this situation. She literally killed him.
Right. And then she was earlier in the season, she was like, wait, the police are gonna come after me? Like, yes, they are.
Yes, it's not like you can just get away with killing someone. Sure, that's happened before, but there are consequences. You crossed a line here. Honestly, one theme I picked out this episode is crossing a line, because I feel like that happens a lot of times, characters cross a certain line that they shouldn't cross. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the tsunami example, I think, is a big one here, which we'll talk about later. Okay. So, we also kind of find out why Clay and Glory have been so, have had so much tension. It's because, Glory told Clay about the whole Deathbringer thing, right after it happened, because they transported the body to the hospital after Winter hid the body somewhere. So, it's kind of Winter's fault in a sense, because he was supposed to take it to the hospital, Winter was, but no, he just hid it in a random place. So Glory's like, Clay, can you help me? So then they take it to the hospital, and Glory's like, Clay, please don't tell anyone, please. And Clay has no choice but to tell Tati, and that's why Glory's so mad at him. So what do you think of that?
Yeah. We've seen, a few episodes ago, there was another situation kind of like this. Do you tell the truth, or do you go along with what your friend says? But in my opinion, I think that either way, if Clay did say tell Tati about that, I think if he did or didn't, then Glory would still be guilty and have to go to jail.
Yeah,
so
no matter what Clay says, she's still guilty. So it's probably a good thing that he told Tati, because that way, he can help out, and it doesn't mean it wouldn't be as much of a situation or a scandal once it comes out. So, but then we get also at the trial, Winter. I gotta say, Winter has kind of been annoying this season too, because he's very harsh to Glory. I mean, at first we were kind of taking his side, mainly because, Glory killed someone, it's kind of hard to take someone's side who's a murderer, but here, he literally called Glory, and I didn't write down the exact line in our notes, but he said, she looks pretty from the outside, but on the inside, she's a rude, selfish betrayer deep down. She has no heart, she has no soul. And that's a pretty big stuff to say to anyone. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I feel like last season we saw Winter, as a newer character, so we're like, oh, he's kind of sweet,
Mm-hmm.
Then we kind of see him him and Glory has had some, things together, but then they're kind of off and on. But then we see him in the trial, and he's just okay, this is my opinion. Glory's just the worst person you could ever meet, and it's like you don't have to say that. You can just say the facts. You don't have to say your opinion about it.
Yeah, like, this trial doesn't need to be emotional, if you get what I'm saying. Like, we don't need to have emotion stacked into this trial. We could simply get to the facts and have everyone sit.
Like their relationship drama in this trial.
Yeah. We don't need people's opinions. We need the facts so Glory can be proven guilty. Like, that is what we need. Because, yeah, Glory does end up going to jail. And, you know, she deserves it. I mean, not to be... She deserves it. She killed Deathbringer. She needs to face the consequences. So it's I'm glad this is happening. Sure, it was maybe extreme at times, but I feel like it was appropriate and it ended things off here on a good note. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, because it was very necessary to have Glory go to jail because she deserved it. And if she didn't go to jail, then I feel like she would, like, feel guilty her whole life. Like, oh, I know I killed someone and I didn't even had to go to jail.
Yeah. And then final note about this is that Clay and Glory have an interesting scene where Clay apologizes for telling Tati about the whole thing. She forgives him, and I feel like you know, I feel like it's a nice talk about, like, showing how close they are. So, like, even though, like, if they, I mean, even if, like, they're not, like, together right now, or if they're still kind of mad at each other, they still have that close friendship to tie them together. What did you think of the scene?
Yeah, I thought, like, it was really, like, well scripted because, like, we see later that I won't say who because, you know, gotta be a surprise. But, someone kissing Clay and and I feel like if that happened in this scene, it would kind of, like, ruin it, you know? Like, I feel like this scene with Clay and Glory was just a nice scene for them to talk and show, like, how much of friends they are, you know?
Yeah, and, you know, yeah, there's still so much, I'll say this now, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is still so much hope for Clay and Glory being together. Like, at this point, I feel like, once Glory gets her things sorted out, I think that would be a really good match. And I think Clay can be the one to help her through this. Just like Memphis has been helping Tsunami, which we'll talk about in a second. But, like, these couples who help each other, and, like, Pakataka showing up for Peril in the hospital. These the couples who do one thing to support each other, and then we might see the other person in the ship doing something, just shows that they're soulmates. Where meanwhile, what have Clay and Peril done for each other? Clay's cheated on Peril, asked her for money. Like, you know, I think it shows what ships are healthy and which ones are not. And I think that's where we're heading for these last few episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so really quickly, we have this whole, also, like, fire mystery going on, because, as we know, little recap here, Peril got burned with fire a few episodes back at a store called Olympians, where it's a clothing store. She tried on the outfit, and, yeah, she got caught on fire. So, she's been investigating with Clay and Pakatako. I hear you laughing, Lydia.
It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny. I mean, it's not like it's a good thing, but it's kind of funny. I agree with you. So we know that Pakatako is involved somehow. Like, he works at Olympians, so Peril's been not really trusting him. Like, he's not giving her any information, so that's why she just turns to Clay for help. So they come across a letter to Pakatako from Richard and Harold, like these two people who run Olympians. They find a map and a key. They follow the map to find this warehouse somewhere owned by this Olympian store, and it's a pretty interesting and kind of wild and crazy scene because they go with the key and they open this warehouse and they find Harold, Richard, and Taco with fire everywhere, like, and they're like attacking Taco. So these good guys like fight, and like Harold and Richard are like taken away. So what did you think of all that?
This scene was one of the like most chaotic scenes, I will say, because so we go into, they're just investigating, trying to see what happened, and then it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, things are going down.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is a mid-season finale, so
Yeah, which the plot definitely, with this plot, with the fire investigation, it definitely kept building up to this moment.
yeah. So we still don't know what's up with Taco. Like, we don't know if he can be trusted or not. And then, luckily, Harold and Richard soon to be taken care of, and we know the store is shut down. So the only other thing that's left to figure out, I think, is the whole fire monster. Like, is this fire monster like a real thing, or is it something else?
Yeah.
Which we'll uncover in the last few episodes. Okay. And then a few other things. So Princess Scarlet, she goes to Dexter for help, because Theo wants her, like we said last time, to kidnap Sunny, Starflight, and Peril the night before the election so they can't support their parents. Princess Scarlet, though, needs help. So she turns to Dexter for help. And they have this plan that she's going to break him out of jail and they can go and do it. Because then she's like, hey, Sunny, Peril, Starflight, you want to hang out later? Like, trapping them in a way. And they're so hesitant. It's funny. They're like, why would we want to hang out with you? And she's like, I want friends, okay? What did you think of that?
Yeah, I thought this scene was kind of funny because Princess Scarlet's just like, okay, she's thinking to herself, she's like, how do I get them to, trap them? And then it's like, hey guys, do you just want to hang out? We could just, I don't know, stay at my place. We could have a party,
That was funny. Okay. So then Princess Scarlet breaks Dexter out of jail, and then Theo rats Princess Scarlet out by calling Herman, who's having a dinner with Queen Scarlet. That gets interrupted. So Herman goes and catches Princess Scarlet and Dexter, and he arrests both of them. This was because this was going on right at the same time as like the fire break-in, so like it was like back and forth, so it was very confusing to see everything going on. So yeah, they get busted and she can't kidnap Sunny, Peril, and Starlight. Her plan failed. I mean, it wasn't the best plan. Like, breaking someone out of jail is not a good plan.
Yeah, not one of her smartest ideas.
Yeah. So they find out that Theo, was the one who asked her to do it in the first place. So Queen Scarlet is mad, but they're sending Princess Scarlet away. Now, don't worry, she'll be back. She's going away for a little bit. She'll be back. It's not the end of Princess Scarlet. I don't want you to get, like, worried or anything. She'll definitely be back.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so she's leaving.
Just for her safety, they had to let her go.
So yeah, she's gone so she can get away from this nonsense. And then look what happens. Queen Scarlet's like, I gotta get revenge on Theo. Goes and shoots him. Literally goes and shoots Theo.
On my notes here, I just put, like, note number, 8, Theo equals dead. I mean,
That's
we don't know if he's
awesome.
dead. We don't know if he's dead, but my guess is that he is.
Oh my gosh. I mean, look, I don't really want to go into too long of a conversation and topic here about Theo's death. I know it's bad, but Queen Scarlet has her reasoning. I will say that for doing it, but still, she killed someone. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's once we
Maybe
get
she's been hanging out with Glory too much.
yeah, and also tsunami. Everyone's killing people. Um,
Right.
but that's a conversation for another time. Speaking of tsunami, let's go over to her. So,
Oh, yes. This is an interesting storyline.
well, so Tsunami's kind of pushing everyone away in a sense. Like, um, she tells Clay about Memphis, and Clay's like, you should try to, like, finalize things with Memphis. Like, make, like, actually start dating him. But no, she does the opposite and goes and breaks things off with Memphis. It was sad. Like, because I feel like, we've kind of been shipping them, like, and wanting to follow their relationship path. But,
Yeah.
so that's over.
Because, like, Tsunami asked Memphis, she's like, hey, do you want to go on, like, this road trip type thing?
Mm-hmm.
Then Memphis is like, well, I'm kind of investigating, and we aren't even dating, so maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you can say Memphis kind of broke it off too, but it was Tsunami by the end, I think.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, but there'll still definitely be more with them. And then, so Tsunami, like, again, pushing people away, she moves out of the house, and Gil tries to stop her before she leaves, but because he's like, do not cross that line, because if you walk out that door, you're never welcome back here. And then Tsunami walks out and is like, that line's already been crossed. So then she leaves. What do you think of that?
First of all, I kind of expected it from Tsunami because we know her personality.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't really picture Tsunami just coming back and being like, okay, fine, I'll stay. She's more of like the independent person where it's like, if you want me to stay here, then I'm just going to do the opposite.
Yeah.
And she's very stubborn.
She is stubborn. I gotta say that. All of them are stubborn in their own ways, but Tsunami is a different level of stubborn.
Yes.
Well, let's see. What else? Okay. Finally, well, let's save the one more thing I want to say is Clay and Peril, smooch, they get back together, and I know you're probably not the biggest fan, but that's where we're at right now.
Not a fan.
Here's the thing. I think this time around in their relationship is very wanting, like, familiarity. Peril maybe considered Pakataka briefly, but that's not an option anymore. Clay and Glory kind of rejected Clay in a sense, not fully. So, like, they're, like, running to each other in a sense of, like, comfortableness, and, like Clay kind of always has to have a woman, and I think it just happened, to, do they belong together? Not necessarily. I think that's something we got to figure out, but I don't think it's as big, epic love as people might think.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so funny because we see how, like, Clay and Tsunami in this episode really bond and become better friends. And it's so funny because whenever they, like, started dating in season 1, it was so funny because their personalities are just different, Like, Tsunami's so independent and stubborn and not dependent on, like, a man. Then Clay is just like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get back together with Peril,
Yeah, although it was good seeing the bond again. I like that. I like their friendship way more than them romantically. Just saying.
Yes, it was a little bit weird whenever they were lovers.
Yes. Okay. Last thing. Tsunami jumps off a cliff.
Yes.
Fi- five
Like,
words. 5 words. She jumps. Literally, Tsunami is like, I'm done with life. And then she jumps off of a cliff.
that was very unexpected for whenever I watched it. I'm like, oh my goodness, Tsunami just jumped off a cliff.
Not good. Not good.
Not
Like,
good at all.
Tsunami, we get you have problems. Like,
Yeah.
you killed your uncle, that is a problem, but you don't need to jump off a cliff. Like, that is intense, to say the least. Like, please just live life normally. Like, no need to jump off cliffs.
Why can't Tsunami be a normal person?
Fair, very fair. Like, I'm just struggling. I mean, sure, it was kind of in a way funny. I mean, not to be mean because it's not good that it's not good that she jumped off a cliff, but like the fact that I mean, she's a dragon. Like she could have flew, like she could have flied away, but instead she decided to
She
jump.
probably tied her wings together or something.
Like she held onto her wings into a cannonball down the cliff or something like that. Like she just chose the weirdest way, and don't worry, she's not dead or anything. Like she'll be back, but
okay, good.
Yeah. So there we go. Intense episode, like I said. And then starting this Friday, new episodes will come out. So next month we'll have some new podcasts. We have 6 episodes left of the show. It's crazy. Do you have anything else you want to add before we go?
I just want to say I hope before this season ends that Clay and Glory get together, and Clay and Terrell aren't together, but they're still good friends,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they talk about it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so that is a wrap on this podcast. Thanks for joining me, Lydia. We will be back next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.